What is it?
A Judas goat. Didn't you ever see one?
No, what does it do?
Watch and you'll find out. See, when they get to the slaughterhouse, he ducks to one side and the silly sheep go in to get their throats cut. That black devil.
Greetings, Mafia. This video is going to be about an interesting comment I got from one of my subs named Alper Karakoc, or Karakoc. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I asked him if it's okay for me to do a video about it, to which he agreed. And the reason I want to do this is because it's something I know is on the mind of many young men. Regardless of age, men need purpose. Men crave purpose. A man without a purpose will inevitably become broken, and a broken man will either become aggressive or subservient. The system needs subservient men. There lies the reason of confusing messages given to young people, young men in particular. And once again, women are deployed and militarized for that purpose. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you approach them with confidence, you're aggressive and disrespectful. If you don't, you're an incel, a beta male. Masculinity itself is proclaimed as toxic, while femininity is pedestalized. We ought to be ashamed for even being men. At the same time, we're required to be providers and protectors. This confusion is designed to break men, especially young men. The more confusion it creates, the system feels safer. This is why I keep putting spotlight on the root of all this. Women are just tools, equally disposable. And it all comes down to one thing: control. Now, let me read this comment. My brother, I'm from Germany and I'm 23 years old. And already 90% black pilled. Nothing makes sense for me anymore. Everything is meaningless for me. Life is a lie itself, and since I watch your videos, I realize everything is fucked up around me and all people with no dignity, no spirit, no natural strength or sense of truth in their inside. I hate the fact all women are the same and I never meeting the same person like me, because the reality is black and I can never build a family with a woman with a genuine connection, because this is the biggest blue pill bullshit ever, because the type of family don't exist. I'm tall, athletic, and a good looking guy, but the only thing that makes life living worth is my spirit in this shitty matrix manipulated life. So there you have it. I read this comment word for word, and despite not being properly written, because I guess his English is a bit janky, it still needs no editing. You can tell exactly what's on his mind. The message itself is clear, honest, and straight to the point. See, Mafia, this is why I do what I do. This is a small channel I'm running, but the level of input that I've reached with my audience is something a few people on YouTube achieved. That's because I don't bullshit, I don't pander to my audience, and I'm not about fame or subs. My video about Brexit cost me a third of my subs, and damn it, let it be. It turned out I was right about it, and those who were gone need to stay gone. Some idiots in the comment section actually said I need to stop talking about certain politicians and feminists because I'm paying them too much attention. You goddamn right I'm paying attention. If our baby boomer parents and elders were paying attention, we wouldn't be in the situation in the first place. And the fact that people listening to me are converting in such way means I'm doing something right. PewDiePie is the biggest guy on YouTube, 70 million subs, and yet he didn't reach his audience the way I did. And I'm not throwing shots at PewDiePie, he's done well for himself. But understand something. His audience are mostly kids and early teenagers. If he had 70 million grown people following him, he would be in a position of influencing elections and world politics. You all realize that? Imagine a MGTOW or Black Pill channel with million subs. And I ain't talking about bots, I mean real people. That guy will be either assassinated or offered billions to betray his audience. Now let me address this comment. First of all, you need to understand that Black Pill is about gaining the ultimate knowledge, which is self-knowledge. Dude, you're a healthy 23-year-old man. You can do anything. Anything. For you, not even sky's the limit because you can one day end up on the moon if you decide to be an astronaut. I'm in my 40s. I can't do that. Healthy man in his 20s can do anything. Problem is, you don't see any purpose. And it's not coincidence that you don't. This is done by design. You are supposed to be confused and eventually broken. You already been through a meat grinder. Your parents, elementary school, high school, these places aren't about true education and expanding the young mind. Quite the opposite. And if you want to know why, you can trace it back annually. You can run this by the numbers. You're 23 years old and your teachers and parents are of the same age, meaning they're in their 50s now. They were born in the 60s, grew up in the 70s with men wearing bell bottoms, high heels, long hair, all feminine looking. They got the job or got into college in the golden age of the 80s when everybody was getting something for nothing. And they finally got around making kids in the 90s, usually after some rave party. What could these people possibly teach us? Seriously. And I'm Gen X. Our parents were goddamn hippies. They started this whole mess with drugs and promiscuity, and the system simply provided the product they wanted. But ask yourself this: what could we learn from them? What could they possibly teach us apart from gimme, gimme, gimme? The term I use to describe them is Judas goats. In case you know what it is, the Judas goat is a trained goat that will lead other sheep to slaughter while its own life is spared. Which is exactly what they did. Our elders are a bunch of Judas goats. You need self-reflection. You need to understand you're in a position to do anything you set your mind and energy into like a laser beam. There's no limits for you. This is a time in your life you are setting up groundwork for your future income. And if you play your cards right, 10 years from now, you'll be financially independent. Remember, the goal is to be financially independent, not necessarily rich. There's a lot of rich men who are not economically independent. They rely on someone else's goodwill. As for women, let me throw some PUA game in this. It all comes down to energy that you're projecting. Look at Neil Strauss. He's no Chad, he's small, bald. I can lift this guy with one hand, and yet he's the king of PUA. The secret is the energy he is projecting. He comes off as direct, confident, and somewhat funny. Check out his appearances on The View and with Jessica Alba. 5 minutes into the interview, and these heifers were ready to suck his dick dry. But pay attention to his appearance, demeanor, and attitude. Women will pick up on it instantly. I used to fuck eights and nines back when I was broke, simply because I projected the right type of energy. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I need you to understand that if you're driven and focused, you'll be projecting right kind of energy and the right people will gravitate towards you. That's how the building is done. I'm not saying this so you can go out and chase pussy, but rather because it's going to help you meet the right people. Pay no attention to those who are not driven or easily distracted, and you shouldn't pay any attention to women. They don't even know what type of standards they follow nowadays, and their approval brings no tangibles. Well, hope this video helps you all youngsters out there. This is Top Dollar signing off.